Larry Donald has had 16 professional fights, won them all, 12 by knockout, gained the key victory, a 12-round decision over Jeremy Williams. As an amateur, he was 55-6. Lost a quarterfinal bout to Roberto Bellato at the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. Bellato went on to win the gold medal. And now as Donald dances in the ring. Nice robe, George.
Well, I would love to have one of those.
Maybe
but then I would be embarrassed to come out in it.
Well, you could wear it in your bedroom. A robe befitting a heavyweight king. And you listen to the music which will accompany Riddick Bowe into the ring. You see the 4 rounds he's put on the docket since having lost the WBA and IBF heavyweight titles to Evander Holyfield. Those 4 rounds, August 13 in Atlantic City against Buster Mathis Jr. in the bout that ended in a no contest.
Here's a more interesting graphic from me, Jim. 3 heavyweight champions from Brooklyn have gone absolutely bonkers after they lost their titles. Floyd Patterson put on a disguise when he lost to Sonny Liston. Mike Tyson is in prison on a rape conviction. And we've already seen what Riddick Bowe did this week.
Don't blame this on Brooklyn, believe me.
Well, but at least on the surface evidence, George, we have to suspect that Houston is a better place to hang out after you've lost a heavyweight championship.
Yeah, but you're going to have some fun, go to Brooklyn. I love Houston.
Ring is getting crowded. There's an honor guard in there, getting ready to accompany Reba McEntire as she sings the national anthem. You look at Riddick Bowe's record, 34 wins, 29 by knockout. The only loss, the very close decision to Holyfield more than a year ago here in Las Vegas. And Bowe complains about his rankings in the extremely political sport of boxing. Politics conspire against him now in his search for another heavyweight title shot. He's ranked 5th by the IBF, 8th by the WBA. And in the eyes of the World Boxing Council, Riddick Bowe is not one of the world's top 30 heavyweights.
All 3 boxing bodies should be ashamed of themselves if they had any shame. What's happened is they've been corrupted by Don King. 2 Don King fighters, Tony Tucker, who used to be a good fighter, and Bruce Seldon, who was knocked out in 1 round by Riddick Bowe, are ranked 1 and 2 by the boxing organizations.
I must say there was a lot of wrong things going before Don King came on the scene.
So it isn't entirely King's.
No.
Not with the rankings, George. I disagree.
All right, right now we'll talk about that later, but let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffett for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caesar's Palace of Las Vegas, Nevada, where the world's greatest entertainers perform. And here tonight to sing our national anthem is one of the superstars of the world of music and entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Reba McEntire.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and a rocket tried glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Reba McEntire. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Spencer Promotions, along with Top Rank Incorporated and Forum Boxing in association with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, present professional boxing for your entertainment. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. James Nave, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Dr. Elias Ghanem, Luther Mack, and Crispin Rivera. Executive Director Mark Ratner. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Pomansky and Dr. Robert Voy. The timekeeper is Jane Broadfoot. Counting for the knockdown seconds, Mike Lachella. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Bill Graham, Art Lurie, and Dalby Shirley. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Mills Lane. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the site where legends are made, Caesar's Palace of Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with his children's names and weighing 241 pounds. He brings a professional record of 34 victories against only 1 defeat, and 29 of these victories are by knockouts. From Brooklyn, New York, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the former heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick Big Daddy Bowe. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trimmed with black and weighing 228 pounds. His professional record, a perfect 16-0 with 12 knockouts to his credit. And he is ranked number 5 in the world by the World Boxing Council. Ladies and gentlemen, from Cincinnati, Ohio, introducing the undefeated Larry the Legend.
We've already been through the instruction in the dressing room. Now look, Jenks, if he goes right here, I'm going to call it all right. Right there is going to be fine. Fair enough? Right here is going to be all right. Now protect yourself at all times. I expect a tough, clean fight. Any questions from Larry Darnell's corner? Any questions from Riddick Bowe's corner? Let's get it on.
The crowd has had its say about Riddick Bowe. This is his chance to respond.
And as you look at Larry Donald, his admirers say, George, he has the best legs in the heavyweight division. In your earlier discussion of boxing strategy, you seem to be saying that he should use those legs to stay away from Bowe and make Bowe chase him tonight.
That's right. Make the big man come. And then only then should you throw a powerful right hand, because with that heavyweight coming forward, you knock him down. But you go forward after him, it doesn't hurt. Because Donald is not a puncher.
Momentarily, you see the vague similarity between Donald's style and that of Muhammad Ali as he bounces on his toes and circles to his left. Bowe just looking and checking it out for the time being.
It looks as though Bowe can take one step, and he's almost at the ropes, George.
Which is great. When you're moving around, you don't need a whole lot of room to move.
By dropping his hands twice, Bowe signals his opinion of what Donald is doing. So Donald sets for a moment with his fists up and then dances some more. There's the jab as he moves left at the same time, reminiscent of Ali. Well, he floats like a butterfly, at least in a manner of speaking. Let's find out if he stings like a bee.
Yeah, to his disadvantage, we got a 12th rounder here. Donald has never had a reason to go 12 rounds. Bowe knows a bit about conserving his energy.
Donald did go 12 rounds against Jeremy Williams. That's a far cry from doing it twice against Evander Holyfield.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Yes. Far cry from doing it twice against Evander Holyfield, George, so your point is well taken.
But you say to yourself, let the crowd boo me this time. Bowe punched me in a press conference. Let him come and punch me now.
Well, there was more action at the press conference, George.
No, he had his hands down behind his back at the press conference.
Yeah, I know.
Donald did. Donald.
Larry Donald misses with a hard right hand. First time he set his feet and thrown a combination. Bowe goes with a right hand lead and then comes with a wild swinging right hand lead. Bowe checking to see if he might be able to get Donald to brawl with him a little bit in this last minute of round one.
Everything overhand. You're going to have to throw a straight one right down the pipe to stop a guy from moving like that. And you lose a lot of your road work because you're going overhead. You don't practice punches like that in training. Bowe is not an aggressor. Real clumsy going forward. So is Donald, by the way.
Now, George, you said that you thought of giving up boxing after trying to chase Donald with the jab. Is that because of his counterpunching skills and quickness or because of his defense?
He has it all. He's got everything together when you're coming after him. It's after. You make him come forward, he's like Riddick Bowe is now. They don't know exactly what to do. They need combinations to knock you down with.
Kind of a weird round one to try to score as Donald danced and Bowe watched for the most part.
Okay, once the jab is up and down a little bit more. Okay. Put it up and down. Leave me on lead right hand. Give me the lead right hand. Your lead right hand, then come out with your left hook, okay? Give me the lead. Now, you're faster. Okay, let me talk to him strictly. Just put yours on. Okay. Fire away. You got to fire away. Don't give him around. Okay? You did all right.
Follow the plan. Keep the pressure on. Yeah. He'll have to slow down eventually. Just make him keep running. Whenever he tries to jab, come right back with your jab. No, okay.
Look at that. Go.
All right.
Go.
All right.
Use the bucket if you can, Riddick, okay? Too much water there. The water here. The water up here.
Fascinating to hear Eddie Futch tell Bowe, make him keep running. Not sure Bowe had anything to do with it.
But you tell yourself, you got punch stats here now. And judges are watching punch landed. You chase a man for 12 rounds, you lose, even though your one is more powerful than his three.
Donald wants to outland Bowe, though he's going to have to throw some. Hasn't committed himself to doing that yet.
Well, you stretch the big guy out who's throwing the power. You get the rounds out. You get him out about 4 or 5 rounds. Then you stand still a bit.
Bowe landing the jab. He landed 8 out of 18 jabs by punch stat numbers in round one. Donald was 2 for 15.
That's great. When Donald see him coming forward, he holds on, which is perfectly legal.
Those occasions when Bert Cooper was seemingly on the verge of getting Donald in trouble a few months ago, Donald did an effective job of holding and tying up Cooper to get out of danger. Wide swinging right again by Bowe. Riddick starts to smile in there.
Believe me, when you throw those kind of punches as a heavyweight, it takes a lot of your energy. You lose control of your fist, and before you know it, you turn to be wild as the fight goes on.
Bringing up the subject of conditioning, which has been Bowe's weakness at times in the past. I got to say, coming in here tonight, George, he looks better to me than he's ever looked.
He actually looks good this time. He doesn't need a pat trunk to cover his stomach. He looks fine. But look who's saying, who's talking.
A guy with a championship belt or two. That's who's talking.
No, I mean a guy.
Yeah, I know. They got to be big belts. I understand that.
That Bowe is kind of red around his nose already.
Come on here, come on.
Right hand lead. Donald providing what trainer Janks Morton asked for between rounds. Now here's Bowe with that wide swinging right again. He lands the body, hand enough. Bowe remembering to go to the body inside, and then he tries for the right hand one more time.
And you would think that Donald would stay to his right and make him just throw as many of those right hands as he possibly can.
Now Bowe half connects with one of those right hands.
And it hurt.
Donald was standing still in the corner. Riddick Bowe's aggression paying off a little bit in the last minute of round 2.
Okay. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep after this guy and make him move into that big right hook once in a while.
Give him the bucket to spit in. Okay, Riddick, spit in the bucket. Okay, big guy, you're going to get too much blood on the bucket. Have him spit in the bucket, okay?
That's right. That's right.
See?
Okay.
Okay.
Get some grease first left.
I got the right here. Right here, man.
How you feel?
I feel great.
Okay. Turn on the speed with your jab on your feet. Jab first. Let me see the thing. Let me see the speed.
Close your eyes a minute and listen to him.
You'll be fine. You're doing good. You're doing good. Stay right there.
I thought there were 3 things that could happen for Larry Donald in this fight. He could win, he could look good losing, or he could get blown out. Right now, none of those things are happening.
Yes, a 4th possibility has arisen.
Now, if I'm Donald's trainer, I'll tell him, now stop moving, confuse him a bit, stand in front of him for a while to make him think, oh, I can settle down. And as soon as he settles down, you start moving again. You got to use some deception.
Donald throws a left and a right and then continues to back away.
In your comeback, George, have you faced anyone like Donald?
Right. But I had to kind of back away sometime, and then I decided I'm going to have to become an aggressive fighter. And you do that by, you don't put one foot in front of the other. You keep both feet together and you march. You come on like waves and you keep waving and waving and waving. Which means you can't prefer one punch over another.
Swinging over the top with the right hand. Watching what Donald has done or not done, if you prefer, so far, you see the reason why his camp might have preferred a 20-foot ring rather than this 18-foot 2-inch number.
Now, Riddick Bowe is starting to stick that big, long left jab into Donald's stomach. Believe me, that can change things quick.
He's also starting to bring some right hand to the rib cage.
Donald has to understand that every round he has to invest in a few body punches himself to make that leg movement work.
If a guy tries to run against you, George, do you think first of going to the body?
Right, you got to put something in the body so the legs will not obey him. He say keep moving, but his legs are saying, I can't. Now Donald's doing what he shouldn't do. Bowe is effective when he's on those ropes. You don't want to give him that. Make him think, hey, I got to reach out.
Uppercut in close, maybe Bowe's best punch. He landed 2 with the right hand there.
Bowe can only do uppercuts when he's close to you. Which is what devastated Evander Holyfield in the first fight, the short uppercuts.
Yep, that's what put Holyfield on Queer Street in the 10th round. Bowe landing that right hand shot. Now there's blood on the nose of Larry Donald.
Donald should never have stopped.
Yep, he shouldn't have stood still, right? Bowe coming forward with more of a purpose now. Donald is getting easier to find.
16 fights, you just don't have enough experience to weather storm. You think, oh, the world is coming to an end. But when you've had a lot of fights, you just wait, oh, that's just this round.
Come on, wake up!
Bowe is better understand that Donald has been beat up like this a few times in his life because he's not a puncher.
So far, Larry Donald doesn't look ready for prime time.
You got to stop holding it. Come on. Give me that wet rag over there. That wet spine. Come on, Bush.
You want it?
Up top, up top, up top. Nose. Get the nose,
Okay,
get the nose. Get the nose first. Leave the rest alone. Get the nose. You got Larry. You're hesitating. You're waiting for him to get off first. We're going to have to control this thing. You're going to control it.
Okay.
Pick up your pace and control it. Okay? How you feel?
Feel great.
Okay, now you pick it up. Don't let him come in on you like that. You got to change position quicker, son.
Okay.
Change the position on him. He can't keep up with you if you can't, Larry. Hold them legs way fast enough. Now pick it up.
Keep that pressure on him. He's ready to quit already.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get careless.
If you haven't seen any replays, there haven't been anything worth showing you.
Honesty is our policy. Round 4 begins. It's scheduled for 12. While you're ticking off the disadvantages for Donald tonight, there is one more. 10-ounce gloves, as opposed to 12-ounce gloves, should favor the heavier puncher. Bowe, and he landed another solid right hand inside there, and Donald backs up. And there's a right hand to the side of the head.
And that's the way you make a guy come to you. You hit him with a hard shot and then move. Then he tries to pay you back, and he burns himself out also.
Donald breathing through his mouth. He's got his mouth wide open. You suspect that maybe he's having trouble breathing through the nose after the blood started to flow in round 3. Bowe uppercuts with the left hand as well as the right.
Now Donald moves the left jab till he does it twice. You can do good like that. A boxer should never be dependent upon power. Let the puncher do that. You box. With the small ring, Donald moved twice and his back is at the rope. Bowe is able to stop and hit him back. With a bigger ring, he can move twice and be out of the way.
Donald stands his ground and throws his best combination of the fight. And Riddick Bowe comes forward with that sweeping roundhouse right. Why doesn't he throw a straight right hand?
You know, he is not the best finished fighter. He's got a good power, and he has in his repertoire a good straight right hand. He just happens to finish himself up enough to do that.
His left hook is by far his best punch, I believe. His right hand has always been iffy. Sometimes it does, more often it doesn't. It's the left and the left hook, the left jab and hook.
Better punch has always been below the belt.
There's a right hand that did some damage. Larry Donald gets a little counter punch action going there.
Now Donald has to understand when you land a few punches, get backwards, don't go forward. Make him follow you those extra steps to the next corner.
Come on, work back.
Those last 2 times, Bowe straightened up the right cross just a little bit. Donald tries the right hand lead, but weakly and lamely over the top.
Whenever a fighter gets into the ring, you count your steps over and over. How many steps backwards before my back is to the corner, to the ring, to the rope? Then you hit and take those steps over and over and let him walk to you.
How many fighters do you think remember to do that, George?
We have science that hasn't been, no one teaches it much in
I want you to step back a little bit and throw your punches up, Bowe.
Okay. Yeah, first round, first part of the round, right?
Yeah.
Give me a half of it. Give me a half a round of speed.
Okay.
Pick up your speed and then get away, get your legs going.
All right, let's take a look at Bowe as he lands a couple of punches in there. That was not a real crisp punch, but it did land it. That's the best stuff from Donald so far, which says too much about him. Later in the round, Bowe came back with a good chopping right hand.
I got it.
Now, Pete.
I got it. Go ahead, Street, take over. Come on.
Round 5 begins.
Harold Letterman, quickly, your score so far.
Larry, 4-0, 40-36, Riddick Bowe. From the day that you become a boxing judge, that's the first question they ask. If a guy's landing 50 jabs or a guy's landing 2 hooks, who wins the round? And the answer is the guy that wins the round is the guy that's doing more damage. And in this fight, in each and every round, Riddick Bowe has done more damage than Larry Donald.
I scored the first round even. the last 3 for Bowe.
That was a good right hand by Donald. Good right hand.
And he brought a left hand behind it, but he's done nothing to dissuade Riddick.
Good left jab by Donald.
Forward, yep. Landed the left jab right on the kisser, didn't he?
He's got to understand, land those punches and take 5 steps backwards in any direction.
Well, you said he could do some damage if he could make Bowe come to him. He certainly isn't going to Bowe.
Bowe fouls over the rope when he has to go forward. Bowe has got to understand to beat this young man to the punch. You just can't wait on him. Go before he goes.
So Donald should keep backing up, counter, and step away when he reaches the rope.
And Bowe should beat him to the punch. Don't wait on him. You give him more confidence. The next thing you know, you're out there in the 6th round, and this kid is jabbing you a little more.
Donald still with his mouth wide open. There's a quick combo inside by Donald. Part of the crowd starting to chant, Larry, Larry, Larry.
Good right hand, the best of the night.
And another solid right hand by Donald, 2 in a row.
Now he should step backwards. See, Bowe is hurt, but don't try to finish him. Don't try to finish him.
Why not, George? Because he may not get another chance.
He's making him come forward and connect, and he's just not going to him getting these things off. It's when both come forward. And Bowe should not wait. Wait to be hit.
Bowe seems to have lost a little bit of his fire in this round.
When Bowe steps forward, he waits for his right foot to catch up with the left, so you get that timing. He's not going to do anything until his right foot catches up with his left foot. Donald should pay attention to these kind of things.
Donald supporters in the crowd cheering as Bowe clumsily flailed across into the ropes.
Riddick Bowe's timing is not going to get any better. He should stay closer to Donald, keep this jab into his stomach and chest.
The Larry Donald his supporters might have hoped to see shows up in the latter half of round 5.
And after that round, Riddick Bowe looked at him as if to say, where did that come from?
Stand around. I want you to keep jabbing. Yes. When you beat this man, you step in, the jab is always there. Keep moving in and keep jabbing. Don't stop. Don't stop. When you stop, you get the jab.
This is the round of young Larry Donald's life, and maybe at that point, the punch of his life, because it changed the course of that round. Suddenly, Riddick Bowe had a little bit more respect for him.
Free first lip. Pick him up in the offense, John. I got it. Give a body shot. Good body shot.
That was a primetime round, George.
It was, and Donald came out with a left jab to the body. That's strange. He's got courageous.
Suddenly in round 5, by punch stat numbers, Larry Donald landed 18 of 31 punches, many of them power punches. Watch Bowe for signs of fatigue. Remember, George, he's only been in the ring for a real fight 4 rounds in the past 13 months.
He's only fought 2 quality opponents. That was Evander Holyfield twice. This kid is quality. He's not as strong because he hasn't had a whole lot of experience, but he is quality.
A terrific combination, finished with a good right hand, and then he did what you said, George. He got out of there or held on.
Bowe is still trying to wait until his right foot catch up to throw a punch.
Suddenly, Donald looks so much more confident in there, so much more aware of what's going on.
Good body punch by Riddick Bowe. That right to the body hurt.
Bowe steps back and casts a confident gaze at Donald with a big smile on his face. not sure Bowe hasn't forgotten completely about the prospect of winning the fight by decision, George. He seems to be simply walking around here thinking of setting up Donald for a knockout, and that may allow Donald to turn the fight around.
What I got to do is to be comfortable. I'm going to get him sooner or later. He's too young. He's not strong.
Before you do it, that's what's happening, right?
And then you say to yourself, like the old Muhammad Ali's days, that didn't hurt.
Hit on the break. Come on.
Because it doesn't, but it takes its toll. Now Donald has gotten smart. He turns his left shoulder forward when Bowe throws his overhand right. Out of the way, he's in safety zone. Only if Bowe comes back with a left hook or fake the right hand and throw a left hook can he get him.
That chant, Larry, 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 resurrected from 1978 and 79 when Larry Holmes in this ring, in this arena, got his split decision against Ken Norton. What a great fight that was. And his 11th round knockout of Ernie Shavers. Larry Donald, like Larry Holmes, here to rely on his jab. And now Riddick Bowe begins to play into Larry Donald's hands.
Too big. Okay. Throw that right hand to the body and come back with the left hook to the head. And you got to jab more. When you get within reach of this guy, jab. Keep jabbing, make it work.
Here's the combination that may have won the round for Larry Donald. Another angle. The left hand followed by 2 punches to the body. Bowe doesn't know what to make of this kid at this moment.
Don't let him rest.
I told you this Donald made me feel the same way.
But as round 7 begins, a Larry Donald earlier described by Larry Merchant, and I thought accurately so at the time, as not ready for prime time, is clearly in the fight and beginning to turn the tide in the strategic battle against Riddick Bowe.
Donald is starting to jab to Riddick Bowe's body. Bowe should never allow him to touch his body. Then that big right hand that he's been saving up all night will have no pop, no punching it when it happens. No power. Good jab by Riddick Bowe.
That's what Bowe ought to do, isn't it, George? He should go back to the jab and begin taking over the fight tactically again.
Almost too late to change Bowe in the middle of the stream, although he's doing it well. The jab is Bowe's weapon. If he continues to use it, he can get.
There's how Donald counters when Bowe comes too far forward. You saw the former champion lunge, and you saw Larry counter perfectly up underneath.
Good jab again by Riddick Bowe.
This is with the right hand.
Now Donald wants Bowe jabbing, but jabbing forward, so he's going off balance, waiting until his right foot catch up with the left. You don't want him jabbing standing still. While he's standing still, Donald.
Come on, work out it, you guys. Work out. Come on, work out. Punch out. Work out. All right, let him go. Come on. Come on, let him go. Let him go. Come on, you guys. Come on.
Unfamiliar territory with a puncher in the late rounds like this.
Get him out. Come on.
Both fighters seeming to sort of search for an answer, try to find their way through this 7th round. But by a narrow margin, you get the impression, really, that Donald is a little bit more in command of his game than is Bowe right at this moment.
Donald's a little overconfident. He's standing and waiting and watching, and this could happen to him. Boom, a right hand.
Work out. Work out. Two-handed. Work on it.
But that brings up a debate, George. Do you think of Bowe as a big puncher?
Bowe is a big puncher, but he has to have 2 or 3 together. He can't do it with one. Why even think like that? He stuns you and then comes back with the hook. And when you throw that right hand, you got to think hook.
Now it's Donald who turns Bowe into the ropes and lands a couple of body shots.
But he still has to back away once he finished doing what he's going to do.
Time! Ho, 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 ho.
Okay. You're hesitating too long. You got to get in a better place. You got to throw more punches. The punch count is rolling up there. You got to get the punch count up.
Okay.
He's supposed to be tired. Let him be tired. Pick up your pace. Pick up your pace. Come on, man. Pick up your pace. This is number 8. You ain't throwing enough.
Harold Letterman, 7 rounds, your score.
Larry, I think Larry Donald's closing the fight up. I mean, making it a lot closer. I got it 4-3, 67-66, Riddick Bowe, but I gave rounds 5, 6, and 7 to Larry Donald because I thought that he used that movement to set up his shots and get in some real nice hard punches. I mean, he's moving beautifully. He's stopping, changing direction, and landing some good shots, out-punching Riddick Bowe, who's missing.
I have the score 4-2-1 for Bowe.
So the fight appears to be narrowing somewhat in margin as we go into the 8th round. The 7th, another tough round to score. Interesting that our Harold Letterman gave it to Donald by punch stat numbers. He only threw 18 punches in the round. Riddick Bowe threw 34. But Donald did connect at a higher percentage.
Bowe is so effective when he decides to use his left jab.
Only twice in his previous 16 fights as a professional has Larry Donald gone past the 7th round. Bowe, as you know, no stranger to 12-round trips. He did it twice against Evander Holyfield.
Punches up, come on.
Donald takes a rest by holding, which is wise.
Then he gets back up on his toes and bounces.
Whenever Bowe wants, he just reached down to Donald's body with a left jab. This should not happen to a boxer.
But he does it one punch at a time, George. I mean, Riddick Bowe has been reduced to throwing one punch at a time by Larry Donald's legs and occasionally by his hands.
Donald, to beat an internationally known fighter like this, you got to throw a few more punches, even if you're going backwards.
Mills Lane looks like an elf walking among redwoods when he breaks these 2 guys up. Look, look.
He's a giant. He's almost 6'4", 6'5".
Donald backs into the corner, but then throws a combination and pushes Bowe across the ring, and Donald gets another rest as Bowe cuffs him to the back of the head twice.
Hey, time. Quick, grab it. Let's go, come on.
Doesn't matter what the referees say, it's what you do. You keep grabbing.
Plate's clean.
Bowe is the one holding. The referee can't see that.
I think Bowe shows some arm weariness too, George, despite the relatively low punch output.
He's so dependent at this time to get a knockout that he hasn't thought about putting together a combination.
Arcs a right hand over the top. That blow doesn't achieve the same effect that it did back in rounds 2, 3, and 4. Both fighters looking a little weary as round 8 comes to a close. Bowe the more active, at least for the moment, but then Donald wound things up with a left and a right.
Guys, fading fast.
I know.
Fading fast. I want you to keep after him with that jab and go to the body with that right hand, then follow with your left hook. If we get the right hand in the head, he'll eventually come back to you. Now.
You got to pick it up. I want you to pick it up with him. Hey, you got all his hand speed, all his foot speed. Use it. Use your hand speed, son. Don't just kill ground to him. When he charges you, you have to be on the left or right hand, but a few times. He walks right into your right hand. Okay? Let him walk into your right hand, Larry. Come back with your hand.
Okay.
Come on, you got to pick it up. You want to fight? You want to fight, you gotta act like it. You gotta act like you want it now. If you want to go get it, you gotta go get it. So you pick it up.
So far, Riddick Bowe hasn't looked like the best heavyweight in the world. It's hard to look like that against Donald, but if Donald becomes aggressive, we might see something happen.
Yeah, but for entertainment value as heavyweight fights go, Larry, we got to say it. Moore or Foreman, it ain't. Holyfield Bowe, it ain't. It's just Bowe Donald. That's what it is.
Well, it's also Donald Bowe because the way Donald's fighting, it's not designed for high drama.
Donald hits him with the back of the hand, and Mills Lane says, no. We don't throw backhand punches here. We don't slap. Bowe able to land a jab. Donald ties him up.
If Bowe would once fake his right hand and come back with a left hook, he can get that elusive knockdown he's been searching for.
Take the right hand, come back with the left hook, huh?
Right. Donald has prepared to dive forward with his left shoulder, and he leaves himself wide open for a hook.
Now, should this follow off the jab? Should it be
no?
Jab,
You don't need
fake,
a jab.
Left hook? Don't need a jab. Just
don't need a jab.
Make the right hand leave.
Fake the right hand leave. He'll drop for it, and you come back with your quick hook. Not powerful, just quick.
But you know, George, it's awfully hard to fight a guy who's moving like this. For a big man like Bowe, it's like almost like he's trying to catch up to a
He did come back
middleweight.
with the hook this time. So he has it in mind, but he's got to take all the power off of the right hand, Bowe has to. It has to be done without any power on the right hand.
Bowe's still right hand conscious. He slipped the left hook in there for a second, but loaded up the right hand and tried to throw it for heavy leather.
The knockout, I believe, could really be there for Riddick Bowe if he just takes his time and go about it methodically. Do a lot of faking. Donald's having a lot of trouble with his right eye.
Swinging overhand right lands for Bowe. He's had a pretty good round here.
Watch the head, come on.
But Larry Donald has begun to look as ineffective as he was in the first 3 rounds.
Because of that right eye, he's starting to protect it right. And Bowe can see that. He smells it.
Now the crowd chants for Bowe. You have the impression some of the people who were earlier chanting for Donald may now be chanting for Bowe.
Now, Donald has to have a good corner now. Work on that eye.
They've got to work on his spirit, George, because it seems right now that he's given up. He's in there, but he's not in there.
Rinse him out. Rinse him out. Rinse him out. Get him in the exchange and get your uppercut going, Larry. Get him in the exchange and let your uppercut go. That's the way you got to win it, man. That's the way you got to win it. You got to get him out.
Keep baiting and sticking and keep pressing. Keep the pressure all the time. Now, when he's running in the grab, he comes in low.
Uppercut.
Let's see a step back and uppercut.
Okay.
Man, you see him start in low like that?
All around you put it. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Here, Clark. Now, come on, now. You put out too much time. Pick it up. Come on. Come on, lad. Come on. Go get it.
3 rounds to go. George, do you see a scenario by which Donald could win the fight?
That's right. Bowe is getting a bit overconfident because he's been closing that right eye more and more. Make him come to you and throw that right hand with all your might. You'll drop Bowe and turn things around.
This is like the 4th quarter of a football game and you're down by 10 points. You got to make something happen.
That good left jab by Riddick Bowe again.
Donald lands a jab. Bowe misses. I don't know, George. You may see a way that Bowe could be damaged by Donald's right hand, but at this moment, the thought of Donald knocking him down is so foreign to me. I mean, it just strikes me as totally out of the question the way he's
It has to
fighting.
come when Riddick Bowe is charging him. You actually knock yourself down. You make him do it by going, attacking him and backing away. It can be done easily.
There's a right hand landing for Donald.
It almost happened then.
All right, I'll hold my tongue a little bit.
All right, let him go. Let him go, Riddick. Let him go.
You see, boxing is the sport of self-defense. The more defenseless you are, the greater you become in that ring. That body punch by Riddick Bowe hurt Donald. That left hook could have been the winning punch for Riddick Bowe. He didn't throw it.
He didn't throw it. Donald holding on again.
He landed a clean right hand in there, but that didn't do any damage. I don't know if he has it in him to do any damage.
Bowe is in trouble, and Donald do not believe it.
Bowe's in trouble.
Bowe is in trouble. Donald does not know it, nor does he believe it.
How can you tell, George?
Watch his face. It's all in the face.
Well, maybe the crowd can incite Donald to do something.
A good body punch by Riddick Bowe to the chest. That hurt.
And there's the left jab straight on the chin.
Hey, don't try.
Donald holding again and
Come on, here we
seeming
go.
to give away some of his balance in there.
Riddick Bowe is starting to use the left hook now. He had not done this all night.
Let him go in there. Come on.
That left hook started working for Riddick Bowe. We're going to see a knockout.
Let him go in there. Let him go. Come on.
Or maybe not.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep pressing this guy. Don't stop and let him take shots at you like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's not smart. Keep him backing up. Don't let him need you at any time.
All right.
Keep it back here. Right there.
When you're dancing the way Donald is, it's hard to get down and really plant and land. Bowe laughs, looks at his corner, and says, "Look what he did," contemptuously.
Yeah.
Because it hurt.
No, you got to stay still. You got to stay still and slip and slip. Slip and fire him, okay? Come on, go get it, Larry. Pick it up. Come on, Larry, you work too hard.
Well, Larry Donald ought to have plenty left. Through 10 rounds, he's been throwing an average of 20 punches per round. You think they'll cut his paycheck for that?
Harold,
Come on, Riddick. Get him
quickly,
up.
your scorecard.
Larry, 97-93, 7 rounds to 3. Riddick Bowe through rounds 5, 6, and 7. I thought Larry Donald did enough with beautiful ring generalship and landed good shots. But after that, Riddick Bowe just took command of the fight. I think Larry Donald's winning the Heisman, but Riddick Bowe's landing the harder shots.
Come on.
Yeah,
That
he may
backhand.
finish
Come
the
on, now,
evening
work
with
that- work
2,000
that
plus
backhand.
yards here.
Come on, with the backhand.
Running.
If only Donald believed in himself. That's what experience takes.
You know, a few months ago when he fought Burt Cooper, George, he threw an average of 77 punches per round. He's thrown exactly 1/4 as many as that tonight.
Well, you go into training camp and everybody's telling you you're fighting a hard puncher, stay away from his power. And in reality, he's not fighting the hardest puncher in the world.
I'm not sure Bowe's a harder puncher than Burt Cooper.
But he's been convinced that during training. And it's hard for him now to re-indoctrinate himself and say, oh, no, he can't hit. And go and get him. Yep, I take that back. Bowe can hit.
Right now, I'm glad it isn't a 20-foot ring.
No, Can we see a 12-foot ring?
Hey, it's going to work out. We step back, guys. We step back. Both the kids. So come on.
Bowe is getting the feints in, but he's not doing anything after.
So you're telling me the judges are going to have to score the feints?
Good right hand, the best one, and a left hook behind it. He does that 2 or 3 times. Goodbye, Donald.
Larry Donald with his mouth wide open.
And his right eye half closed.
Out of gas with 54 seconds to go in the 11th round.
No one in Donald's corner is applying that thing to his eye.
I got to hand it to you, George. Bowe has decided to adopt your strategy of straight right and then left hook.
He does that a couple of times.
Step back, you guys. Come here.
He's got it.
But he hasn't yet decided to simply feint with the right and go ahead and throw that left hook the way you say he should.
He still hasn't landed a left hook the way he did on Monday.
You got to understand, for Donald, this is a victory just going this many rounds with this world-renowned fighter.
You think so?
Yes. He's doing something he didn't think he could do anyway.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to do anything for Donald's career?
Oh, certainly. He'll be back and know what to do with that right hand.
Time will tell.
This is it. How it feel? It feels pretty good. Can you give me a hard kick? Can you give me a hard right now?
That's right.
All right. I want you to get him out of there. So you got enough strength? You got enough? Yeah. Give me some real hard. Dig down deep, okay? Show him what you made of. Come on, man. Okay. Come on.
I don't care what he does. Don't you stop in the ring and do nothing. I want you to keep working all the time.
Okay.
He wants you to work 3 minutes now. Don't stand still and lose any lax memory. You do not see those guys coming in last shot, okay? You keep your ass. Keep your busy.
In front.
Put it up. All right.
Oh, get him.
Crowd cheers for the 12th round. Maybe because there are 2 bouts left on the card yet to take place.
I noticed Donald was starting to touch gloves, but he moved out of the way. He was not going to trust Riddick Bowe.
Now that touching gloves is dangerous.
Especially with Riddick Bowe, he thinks.
Well, interesting to know what's on Donald's mind. Does he actually think he's got a chance to win the fight by doing this? Highly unlikely.
At this point, I think he's going to protect himself. Hit Bowe with a right hand, make the crowd say, oh, he can come back.
This can only help Larry Donald if it clues his management team and his trainer into where he has to go from here, what he has to improve. It gives them a yardstick against a top fighter, and maybe they can go on from there.
What does it do for Riddick Bowe, George? The 12 rounds of action chasing a totally defensively oriented fighter good for him?
I think it's going to help him physically. Now he's in shape. Nobody can take that from him.
Except him.
It's not going to help him with the fanfare. He's going to have to go out and win his fans back by getting some knockouts. He can still do that now.
Donald countering over the top of the right hand, and then he lands a right hand.
Every time he throws his right hand, he hurts Riddick Bowe. Doesn't make him pay for it next time.
Dangerous for Donald as he turned his back on Bowe, but he got away. Hard left hand from Bowe.
Bowe tricked him. He thought he was coming with a straight right hand. He looped it.
Uppercut snaps Donald's head back. Bowe trying to beat Donald to the spot. Hard right hand. Donald in trouble. Almost a minute to go. Let's see if Bowe knows how to finish it. Larry Donald says he's never been knocked down in a pro or amateur bout. Maybe because he knows how to hold on. But for about 15 seconds there, Donald was in his most trouble of the evening. His legs are still very wobbly, George.
But Bell can save him in the last round, I heard. I don't know.
That is correct. Last round only. Donald can be saved by the bell. And because of his effective penchant for holding on, it looks like he's going to make it out of the round.
It's because Bowe can only throw 4 punches before he has to take a break himself.
We've been watching the last 2 American super heavyweight Olympic prize fighters. Riddick Bowe had a professional style. Larry Donald has an amateur style. The professional won the fight.
All right, as Larry prepares to go up into the ring to conduct the post-fight interviews, here, George, a look at that combination by Riddick Bowe that put Larry Donald momentarily on Queer Street.
Donald doing all the holding he possibly can.